The Premier League is defined by more than just trophies, it's defined by moments. Moments of sheer, gut-wrenching drama that stop the world, change the course of history, and establish new rivalries. Today, we are looking back at the 10 individual matches that truly define the character, the stakes, and the chaotic brilliance of the Premier League era. These aren't just great games, they are pivotal moments in football history. Manchester City vs Queen's Park Rangers, 3-2, May 13, 2012. The match that gave the Premier League its defining moment. On the final day of the 2011-12 season, Manchester City needed a win against QPR to secure their first league title in 44 years, edging out rivals Manchester United on goal difference. After taking a 1-0 lead, City fell 2-1 down, even after QPR's Joey Barton was sent off. As the clock ticked into stoppage time, United had won their game, meaning the title was heading to Old Trafford. Then, Edin Dzeko equalized in the 92nd minute, setting the stage for Sergio Agüero. Agüero's 93-20 winner completed the impossible comeback, the most famous commentary in Premier League history. Agüero! Capturing the moment the power shifted in Manchester forever. Manchester United fans were already celebrating with their shirts off, chanting about their 20th title, only to have the sound cut out and the title stolen by a man named Sergio. It was the quickest wardrobe change and mood swing in football history. Talk of the town, the commentary, the chaotic scenes, and the final 5 minutes of impossible drama made Agüero's goal a moment that was immediately the universal talk of the town across the entire sporting world. Liverpool vs Newcastle United, 4-3, April 3, 1996. This is often hailed as the greatest Premier League game ever played. A high-stakes clash between Kevin Keegan's swashbuckling Newcastle side, desperately chasing a 12-point lead they had surrendered to Manchester United, and Roy Evans' attacking Liverpool team. The game saw both sides take the lead twice. Liverpool went 1-0 up, Newcastle came back to lead 2-1, Liverpool equalized at 2-2, Newcastle took the lead again at 3-2. The relentless pace and drama culminated in Stan Collymoore's winner in the 92nd minute, resulting in the iconic image of Kevin Keegan slumped over the advertising hoarding, visibly broken. This game encapsulated the pure, naive attacking spirit of the mid-90s EPL. Kevin Keegan was so focused on being an entertainer that he forgot he was supposed to defend sometimes. His team played like they were starring in a very high-scoring Broadway show, complete with tragic ending. Talk of the town, the incredible, dizzying pace of the match and the unforgettable image of Keegan's crushing defeat made this match pure football theater. The raw emotion on display ensured this fixture was the global talk of the town for that title run-in. Chelsea vs Tottenham Hotspur, 2-2, May 2, 2016. The Battle of the Bridge. This match didn't involve the eventual winners, Leicester City, but it secured their title and defined the intensity of London derby football. Spurs needed to win to keep their faint title hopes alive against Chelsea, but what followed was absolute chaos. Spurs went 2-0 up in the first half before Chelsea launched a second-half comeback. The game became infamous for its brutal physicality. Spurs received a record-breaking 9 yellow cards, and the post-match scuffles. Eden Hazard's brilliant 83rd-minute equalizer officially crowned Leicester City as champions, making this a pivotal, era-defining match of both violence and romance. Spurs collected more yellow cards in 90 minutes than some teams get in a whole season. They were so desperate they started playing like a rugby team, trying to tackle the trophy away from the television screen. Talk of the town, it was violent, chaotic, and historic. A London derby that handed the trophy to Leicester became unforgettable. Manchester United vs Manchester City, 4-3, September 20, 2009. This Manchester derby is recognized as the moment Manchester City truly announced themselves as a modern powerhouse and a genuine threat to United's dominance. City, flush with new Abu Dhabi money, equalized 3 times, culminating in Craig Bellamy making it 3-3 in the 90th minute. Sir Alex Ferguson and the Old Trafford crowd were furious. However, deep into the 96th minute, after the allotted injury time had passed, Michael Owen scored a dramatic, iconic winner. While United won the battle, the war was changing. This game highlighted City's new competitive spirit and marked the beginning of the intense, decade-long derby rivalry. The clock operator at Old Trafford earned his entire season's salary in about 6 minutes of injury time. Man City players probably needed a GPS tracker to find Michael Owen, who seemed to materialize out of thin air just to score the winner. Talk of the town, the controversy of how much added time made this derby an instant classic. Manchester United vs Arsenal, 8-2, August 28, 2011. This isn't celebrated for its closeness, but for its historical significance. This match represented the absolute nadir of Arsene Wenger's later years at Arsenal and the high watermark of Manchester United's continued dominance. An injury-ravaged Arsenal squad, featuring a bizarre lineup, was utterly dismantled at Old Trafford in a humiliation rarely seen between two top-tier clubs. The result directly precipitated a massive spending spree by Arsenal and led to immediate soul-searching over the club's direction. It remains a historical marker for the changing of the guard in the North London-Manchester rivalry. Arsenal's defense that day was thinner than a slice of deli ham. At one point, Arsene Wenger reportedly tried to substitute himself onto the pitch just to make the numbers look less embarrassing. Talk of the town, the sheer scale of the defeat, 8-2 between two of the Big Four clubs, was a massive wake-up call. It was the ultimate marker of how far Arsenal had fallen at the time. Crystal Palace vs Liverpool, 3-3, May 5, 2014. The game known as Cristanbul. Liverpool were still reeling from Steven Gerrard's heartbreaking slip against Chelsea 2 weeks prior, but they entered this match needing to run up the goal difference to keep their title hopes alive against Manchester City. Liverpool led 3-0 with 11 minutes to go, and were aggressively pushing for more goals when a sensational collapse occurred. Crystal Palace scored 3 goals in the final 9 minutes, drawing the match 3-3. Luis Suarez was famously pictured in tears. The result crushed Liverpool's goal difference, confirming that City would win the title. This match remains one of the most brutal emotional turning points in modern Premier League history. Liverpool's aggressive search for goals in the 80th minute was like opening the floodgates to find they only led to your own net. They went from this is destiny to this is disaster in 8 minutes. Talk of the town, the sheer devastation of the team, especially the image of Suarez crying on the pitch, captured the emotional turmoil of the title race. Newcastle vs Arsenal, 4-4. February 5, 2011. After the legendary Liverpool-Newcastle 4-3, this is the Premier League's most famous comeback draw. Arsenal stormed out to a seemingly unassailable 4-0 lead after just 26 minutes at St. James' Park. By halftime, everyone assumed the match was over. However, in the second half, the atmosphere changed completely after Abu Dhabi's sending off. Newcastle began a relentless surge, scoring 4 goals in 19 minutes blitz, capped off by a spectacular 87th-minute thunderbolt volley from Sheikh Tayok to draw the game 4-4. It was the largest comeback from a 4-0 deficit in the Premier League era and is definitive proof that no lead is ever safe. Arsenal's second-half performance was sponsored by the concept of self-sabotage. They played the first half like champions and the second half like they were allergic to their own penalty box. Talk of the town, the unbelievable nature of the fightback, especially Tayok's iconic volley, was a story of epic proportions that immediately swept through social media. Tottenham vs Arsenal, 4-5, November 13, 2004. The highest-scoring North London derby in history, this game showcased the peak attacking flair of the mid-2000s Premier League. With 9 goals and constant lead changes, Spurs went ahead, Arsenal led, Spurs equalized, Arsenal went ahead again. This match was a pure attacking spectacle. It perfectly captured the chaotic, brilliant, and often defensively suspect nature of the Arsene Wenger/Martin Jol rivalry, two managers who thought defending was optional and attacking was compulsory. The result further cemented Arsenal's dominance in the rivalry at the time, but the sheer number of goals created an unforgettable spectacle. This was a match where the defenders decided to take the day off and just watch the spectacle. The goalkeepers were basically just accessories to the destruction, occasionally picking the ball out of the net every 10 minutes. But honestly, both sets of defenders should have been arrested for neglect. Talk of the town, the thrilling 9-goal encounter between two bitter rivals remains a landmark moment for goal-scoring spectacle and a constant talking point. Chelsea vs Bolton Wanderers, 2-0, April 30, 2005. While not a 7-goal thriller, this match is immensely significant as it sealed Chelsea's first league title in 50 years and officially cemented Jose Mourinho's arrival as the Special One. Frank Lampard scored both goals at the Reebok Stadium in a tense, gritty match that typified Mourinho's disciplined, winning style. This game proved that a new economic power had successfully broken the Manchester United/Arsenal duopoly, ushering in the era of the Big Four, and permanently changing the competitive landscape of the Premier League. Chelsea won the league so comfortably that they could have shown up to the match in bathrobes and still clinched the title. It was the footballing equivalent of walking through the title finish line holding a mug of tea. Talk of the town. The moment Lampard scored the clinching goal, it signaled a historic power shift that was universally recognized. Everton vs Wimbledon, 3-2, May 7, 1994. This match is iconic for its sheer desperation and its dramatic impact on the relegation battle. Everton, needing a win to avoid relegation on the final day, were 2-0 down to Wimbledon after just 20 minutes at Goodison Park. The crowd was silent, and the club was sinking. An unbelievable comeback, fueled by 2 goals from Barry Horne, saw them claw back to 2-2 by halftime, and Stewart completed the miracle with the winner in the second half. This result prevented one of the biggest clubs in England from dropping out of the top flight, defining the desperate, high-stakes drama of the Premier League's inaugural years. Everton's comeback was so fast and unexpected that the person updating the league table probably got repetitive strain injury from hitting the refresh button. This was survival football in its rawest form. No tactics, no finesse, just pure desperation. They essentially invented the concept of the final day. Great escape. Talk of the town, the roar inside Goodison Park was deafening, but even louder was the sigh of relief across Merseyside. This match became the early Premier League's definitive survival drama. These games weren't just football matches. They were stories, epic tales of survival, humiliation, heartbreak, and glory. From Goodison's great escape to Agüero's last-second miracle, the Premier League has always delivered the impossible. And here's the beauty: somewhere, sometime soon, another game will write itself into this list. Because in the Premier League, the script is never finished, the drama never dies, and the next unforgettable moment is always just one kick away. Which of these goals are your favorite, or maybe you know some more spectacular? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your fellow football loved ones and hit that bell so you don't miss the next countdown. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe cause I'll be posting frequently here.